All right. Hello, hello, hello. Sorry. Jin's home sick today. So Melissa's trying to keep Kip in there with her, but Kip is just messing with Jin already. So yeah, it was a 3 night throwing up experience for Jin. So yeah, not fun. It looks like the volume is off just a little bit today. Hold on one second. I'm increasing it just a bit. Hold on. Let's see. Go here. Okay, that one's good. Let's click this one. That is good. Why does all this sound weird today? Hmm. I don't know. It's strange. Let's see. Let's make sure this is working. Uh, yeah, it should be. All right. Let me know. Again, every time anything updates, it's like it changes everything on me. So, uh, okay. Sorry. Yeah, it's. I don't know. It's a little off. I'm not sure why. I had to open programs and then they look like they're kicking in again. So, anyway, all right. So where we are right now. Um, Dollar weakness pretty much across the board right now. Um, some interesting comments came out over the weekend. One, I don't know if you guys saw it. The big news of this morning is obviously OPEC plus. You're seeing this one. OPEC plus suffices while manufacture remains challenged. Basically, oh, right. What's up, Budster? Hello, Budster. Um, here, Buds. Hold on one sec, guys. I have to give him here, Buds. Here, what's it? Want to sit with Daddy? And watch it, Miss Rachel. Here, come here. Come here. Oh God, now you got cookie everywhere. This is gonna get worse. Buds, eat the cookie, not smear it all over your face. Um. Anyway, we've had monstrous move in oil in the overnight. Again, going from 75 up over 80 today already. It did go up to 81. Again, OPEC basically cut. You're seeing Novak. There's a surplus of oil in the global markets. Again, a direct spit in the face of the United States. CNBC was pretty funny this morning, talking about, man, we did all this great stuff for Saudi Arabia, and they're like, not supporting us. And again, I we've lost that relationship. It's not surprising. We also have this one about the status of the U.S. dollar as the global reserve currency and exchange rates. The slow, long decline. The most recent figure went down to 58.4. So again, continue to deteriorate, lowest it's been since 1994. Really starting to push back again, and this is that direct response. One, from inflation, but two, the weaponization of the dollar. So we've lost the OPEC relationship, right? OPEC doesn't care what the United States wants anymore. They're very clear about that. Russia has more control over OPEC plus than the United States has any influence over it. And again, control, influence are two different things. And the U.S. dollar continuing to lose its global reserve currency status. Again, taken by, you know, taken by the powers that we don't want to have access to it, or be that reserve currency. And again, if we officially lose this, extremely bad for the U.S. market. Um, so that's kind of where we're at right now, as far as kind of weekend, kind of overnight things. There was some data early this morning for CPI. You can see that in Swiss, still positive, but again, it was previously at point 0.7, so the point 0.4 was like, yeah, we knew it was coming down. We got that. We already got the data from OPEC plus the JMC. We're going to get the U.S. manufacturing PMI and prices data earlier in the next 20 minutes, and that data will come in, and we'll see. It's supposed to go down a little bit manufacturing wise. We'll see. Um, I think right now it's going to be more eyes on what the heck. Why is OPEC doing this? Oh, other news as well. I don't see it over here. Uh, where's in Saudi Arabia deal comes with China region? Yeah, see, look, right, cooperation deal means for China in the region. See, they're going away from the United States because they're tired of us and the policies. Um, Basically, there's another article as well. I don't have it in here. It actually came across my phone. Japan has been given an exception to the G7 agreement. Basically, what that means is, the G7 decided to put a price cap on oil of $60 for Russian oil of $60. Japan has now received an exception, and they are purchasing oil above the price cap. So we talked about this before, that oil was getting out, that it was nice that they wanted to put a price cap on there. But Japan, one of those nations, is relying upon Russian oil. And they basically got an exception that they can go above the price cap. So they are officially buying things above that price cap. So, yeah. So all the plans that the U.S. are trying to do are, yeah, not working. Not a good day for U.S. policy. I guess they can keep pushing the agenda, but we're gonna fade more and more. Anyway, with that, you can see Aussie dollar is a big mover out there. You are seeing gold and silver kind of spike a little bit, but a lot of that's to do with oil, as well as here it's going to be Russia, right? Russia and China, right? Or excuse me, having an influence over there. VIX wise, obviously up quite large, right? You're seeing a huge spike in volatility here, but it's not necessarily associated. You're like, wait a second, holy crap, does this mean all the indices are deep in the red? No, not really. Indices are more or less split. You have NQ down, 0.5%, but you have YM and Russell up 0.5%, and ES is basically dead flat. Again, a lot of this has to do with like, holy crap, what's happening? Oil's up 6%, and that's what's really, really driving this high, right? You have Tesla down, 3%. So, yeah, yeah. Commodities kind of split. You're seeing a green and a red. Oil up big. Natural gas down 4%. Back down at that 212. It did have a spike over there. Gold up, silver down. It's like, wait, what's going on, right? Everything is kind of scrambled. But again, monstrous gap here. Dollar, you can see the dollar did rally up. We had a very strong push on Sunday. And then what happened was, once the European market opened right here, European market is really right here. This started to reverse and push back to the downside. Oops, it's this one, right? Right there. I'm sorry, right. Actually, it's right here. Right there's your 3 o'clock candle. So you can see the push we had from Friday morning has been deteriorated, but we did go back up into the 3 range. And again, you can see that 3 being right there. Magically, why would it stop here? Is there anything at 3? Yeah, there's a little bit. There's not a 786. A 786 was higher. All this basing just happened to stop around 103.00. And that's where the zone is, right? Right there. So, again, kind of a quarters theory type thing, right? Again, big whole number, and then we pushed all the way back down again. And on the opposing end, we know that we have 2 down here at the bottom, 1.2. So, right now, where's the dollar at? It's on the lower side. We typically be looking for longs. We'll see with the ISM data. With it driving down right now, this may give us reason to kind of go higher here, right? This is expected to be weak. If the data comes in better than expected, it could be a long opportunity. Bullard did talk and said that, there is rapid and appropriate response to bank turmoil. The Fed can continue with its monetary policy versus inflation. It's open question whether OPEC, have a long-term effect. The Fed needs to raise rates above 5, and my forecast is higher than the median, right? And again, he's always said this. So, yeah. So, with the dollar pushing down now before news, again, this may give us the opportunity to go long. I would say, again, there is some basing here with kind of 2 tests. This is number 3, and we're really close. So, it could be sitting up for a news burst. Now, Aussie dollar. Aussie dollar, we had a level up here that we were looking at, but really this has just been straight up right now. Really, and again, this is more European based entry. This is like that 230-ish time frame. It's been straight up showing dollar weakness, right? And again, some of this has to do with the fact with the global currency. Oh, you know what? Hold on. Giveaways. There you go. It should work now. Sorry, Debbie. I forgot. Sorry, Monday morning, sick children. Um, all right. So, yeah, so we are very, very high in the curve. We did have a level there that, again, had been hit twice that we were looking at. We can remove this. We can actually drag some of these else out there. This one, obviously, we can take off. It did kind of Harry Potter through it, right? It did push up base and then pull back again to go long. So we'll leave it there and turn it yellow to see if it will continue to go higher. We can use that for a profit target. Looking on the other side, we know that we have some stuff here, and we know we had a little bit of selling coming in here, and that's what we're running into right now. This was an old Harry Potter. Let's pull this. We know that this was a bigger zone right there. Put that there. Put that there. That. this one hit here and here. We'll take that off. I'm always slower when it's just like one hand here. This one had the pop there, so we can take that off. All right, so let's see. Yeah, so right now, just slightly. Oops. There. This. That's what I was looking for. All right, so we're kind of Harry Pottering off of this one right now. I'm kind of looking at like, hey, listen, maybe we pull a short out of this. Right. Again, we got nice basing there. It kind of came and used it. We wouldn't necessarily need to use this whole little bit. We're looking for more near term basing. So I think that there's a potential reversal for this right here. It's small, 8 for 25, so nothing crazy on that one. Okay. But again, 10 minutes to go. Driving up in areas of sellers, it does look like it's meant for more of a reversal on this one. Aussie yen looks almost identical. Again, Aussie raising back up again. We do have a level sitting just a little bit higher. You know, we talked about a big area here, but didn't love it because it kept chopping through. And you can see it chopped in again, and then push up. So right now, see, definitely something at the 50, right? And you can see there's a test, a base, pop up and test it off of it. So we'll mark that as a level right there. A little over the 23, but I'm not super worried about it right there. Yeah, I think it's 90-15. If we can push up to there again, the yen will act as a proxy on this one. And again, if the also goes down versus the dollar, this one also could roll back to the downside as well, show some weakness. So, where we at right now? Daily ATR of 117. Yeah, we're beyond. We're at 150 right now from the low. It's got a daily ATR of 117, so we're kind of approaching, kind of like I would say like an overbuy area, right? An area of high level of exhaustion. So yeah, I think there's we look for something up here, right? And whether it's a 90-15 or we find a new top here, I think either of these two are decent. Look for a base or look for a target down here, right? I think this becomes a target first, but then ultimately that could actually be a reversal point, depending on where the top is. It's a nice little kind of a very small base, a strong rally in a one candle and then pop and then tested. So it does kind of meet the criteria for what we're looking for as far as that goes. Euro dollar. So again, euro dollar up. There's your Harry Potter from Friday, right? Now, whether you took this trade, again, this is one of those ones. We typically don't hold trades over the weekend. Um, in this case, it triggered Friday and ran. I guess it ran. Actually, it did. Actually, it. Let's see, Friday. It actually did. It did complete because Sunday is right there. So there's Sunday. So the Harry Potter did kick in. It triggered at about 2 o'clock in the afternoon. So it did actually go through. You guys know that I'm not looking at charts that late in the afternoon. So I did not trade this one. Um, but if you're here, let me bring this up to 30. If you were really staying firm for that one till the end of the day, you did get out because it hit right here at 4:30. So yeah, yeah, it was not the last candle, right? It did actually make it. So yeah, I didn't take it. It was too late in the day for me, but it actually it did work. It did make it out in time. Let's clear a lot of this right now. Well, 1, 2, 3. We expected a break. It never pulled back. We didn't get it over Sunday night, which is fine. We went down to the 61, which is fine. This one hiccup off that. I'm good with that. Let's mark this bottom here. Yeah, it's this base right here. Fine, we'll leave that there. Uh, Bibs up. Yeah, there's a little pullback right there. That could be an area that we pull back to. This thing is taken off before news. Also an interesting little spot there as well. All right, so we got a few things here to look at, right? A few things here to look at. Now, it's been here before. This 109.19, this purple level, it's been there, right? We've been up there. It's already had one successful trade that came out last week, so we know that it's there, but it did push it deep. So I'm wondering if this 109.30 is going to be probably the better area to take it from. We're getting close right now. We do know we have sellers in here, and we got 9 minutes to go, and it's rallying up pretty quickly. So, yeah, I mean, where are we at here? Yeah, we're at 107, and it's a 91 pip ATR. So, um, again, this is a 15-minute level, so we're starting to get to the point where it's like, all right, we're kind of reaching. That's what the level looks like. There is a one top base that pulled back up and then kind of exploded, and then on the 15-minute, again, the lower that gets, the zones are not as high quality. It did have a one touch at 10 o'clock and then rallied back down again. So you did have a nice push here, and then you had a nice push right there as well. We're kind of getting there. We needed to go just up a little bit more though. We need like 8 pips in the next 10 minutes. I think there's something to be said about that zone, particularly if we're going to see that dollar reversal this time. We are quite extended though, so I feel like the news is almost out. This is dead. We're higher than expected 2 times. We know that inflation has creeped up over the last month. Not crazy amounts though. Kind of funny, right? Funny. The news article just came out. Here's the news article for it. Auto manufacturing that they're talking about. You're like, oh look, there's the news article. How do we know? Anyway, yeah, we'll see. I think it's probably set up. So it's starting to turn back already. I think there's your lot. If we can get a spike up to this 109.30, I think we pull the trigger. If we can get just a little bit more of a push, and unfortunately, it may have already turned. We may have missed out on that one. Yeah. God, I wish it was just up a little bit more. That would be a nice little zone. Mm. We'll see what news comes in at 7. Euro pound. All right, so euro pound. Funny, we saw push up, and then the news came out and it went right back down again. That's kind of what we were looking for last week. Let's pull these off. This touch. That we were looking for that to push. So the target's been hit, right? It actually went below what where the target price was. So we were looking for this to potentially rally off. I think 9. Two. Hmm. We have UK data. Dead on. Lower than expected. No, there's nothing else today. So we'd mentioned this as being an area where we're potentially looking for one target and then 2 for a long. It came down and did a similar touch. I mean, again, it just missed it by like fractions of a pip here. with it pushing higher. Um, European session, yeah, European session, 3 o'clock is there. For the most part, has been straight down. I wouldn't say that the news out there is. What do you want, buds? This. Um, I don't think anything we've seen this morning is necessarily trend changing. I think again, between if there's going to be issues with gas inflation again, um, I of the two nations that suffer the worst, I do believe it would be the euro more than anybody else that would suffer. Many more nations, the UK, again, there is a smaller nation, less reliance. Because here's the problem, you know, if the global price of oil right now is 880, and Russia can get people to spend 70 or 75 for it because of the price cap, right? Like Japan. Why would you spend $80 on oil from the United States when you can get it for a discount using Russia? Okay. Um, you know, it's a demand thing, right? If Europe holds firm and says we're not buying it above the price cap, okay, you won't get it. You're going to pay more for it. That could potentially hurt the European economy more than what we're going to see in the UK. There's going to be more exposure in the EU. So, obviously the initial response was a quick short. Um, Again, that is because a lot of people were probably trying to get the short the euro. So, yeah, I would expect this to run back up again. I don't. Let's see. I mean, this is an easy draw, top to bottom. People will be looking at it. We got to clear this 23, but after that, we should be able to go up. You're going to see a basing level right here with some confirmation around the 50. I think overall target today on this one, I'll look for it to come up to 87.98 if you're long, but we do have to clear this 23.6 is what we're going to have to get through. So that's going to be the big one, is getting through this 23.6 level and you see it spiking. But once it does finally break through here, once the fib traders are out clear to this one, we should have clear sailing up to 87.98. Euro yen. All right, so euro yen. Yeah, this one also wouldn't have triggered until 3 o'clock on Friday afternoon, which is if you remember what we were saying Friday, we're like, God, I hope this one doesn't go through and break because we'd like to get long this position, but we're not holding it over the weekend. It didn't come down until 3 o'clock on Friday afternoon. Both markets had been closed for hours, so it's like, nope, it's not a trade for us. So, yeah, it didn't hold over the weekend. It hit on Friday. Sunday doesn't kick in until here. Actually, this green candle here. So, unfortunately, this would have been a no trade. I think we can mark off this level down here as being kind of the low, right? It did not trigger. Unfortunately, none of this worked. It did none of it triggered. Like I said, you're not getting into the euro again at 3 o'clock on a Friday. You're just not doing it. I think where it's at right now, again, it put a low in, right? We had the rally, we had the base sideways, we had the punch higher, and then it dropped back down and found those buyers and pushed up. But at this point, I think that this one is more stuck in there, right? I think we're more here, and I think this makes a lot more sense for what we're seeing with the euro pound as well. And you can see this one took the OPEC news. We saw the immediate push to the downside. So, I mean, it only needs to go to right there. It just got to clear that. What buds? Why you have it zoomed in? There you go. What was that, elephant? Um, we are a little bit late on this one. It's already at a 1-to-1. But that was a decent little basing level. And again, it's not the origin of the move. That move is really actually sitting right there, right? So, could you have been short from there? Sure. But if you're looking more near term, if you weren't able to catch that one and you redrew it off that level, you can see. I mean, it's either this trade there or it's this trade right now. That one. So it's one of those two that you'd be in. But it is a little bit late for either one right now. So, but yeah, you got this one to 187. It absolutely should have turned right there. That's where it should have done its turn. So, yeah, look. Again, this was that gigantic zone we talked about that we weren't really super interested in. But look at that. Look how it came up right before news to push all the way back up. And again, two tests there. We had sellers there, sellers there. And look, the sellers are stepping in. So there we go. 10 o'clock. Let's see what the news is. Let's just delete this. Come on. We know you have it. almost like they knew. Ooh, that went under 52. All right, let's see. Yeah, that should be their pop through. So I don't know if you guys caught it before. You know what I said? Hey, listen, it's almost like they know. They've sent this thing up so fast, right? There's the European market. And the data we just got is dollar week, right? Isn't that crazy? Right? 135 pips, right? It's almost like they knew, right? Almost like they knew. Sorry, I got distracted. I was like, ooh, 5.5? What? What? Yeah. It's almost like they knew. Yeah. Quite an extension. It's not like there was a drive and then a pullback before the news, right? This one was just literally straight up. There was no pause. I mean, a little bit right here and then went higher, but I still think it has a hard time. It's got to chop through all this and all this level, this level at 125 or 124. Let me see. Yeah, look at that. It's almost like they knew, right? It's almost like they knew that it was going to be weak dollar data, right? This test should be down here, right there. Actually, this probably doesn't hold. This is a little lower. This probably does not hold. Yeah, let's monstrous move there. Yep, that exactly should be going up, right? Again, we're waiting for a short to come through this side, but the question is, will these levels hold now? There's your spike. The news is out now. We've had our spike. Is the pullback coming right now? Right? There's your 109. Is the pullback coming right now? Right? Data's out. Now everybody's going to go, short the dollar, and this is when it would necessarily roll back. Right? Let's see if they roll. Okay, that wasn't. All right. That's where we're at. Okay. So on this one, here was our trade. It finished up at 11 o'clock on Friday. Actually, I guess at 10:30. So right when we were finishing is when this one hit the full profit target from that top in the overnight. We can extend that top across. There was sellers there. It did kind of put a position in. You can see Friday it ended right here. You weren't taking this 23.6. Um, that's not one you would have taken necessarily. I mean, it pushed up and then broke through again. So I think right now we look for targets down here. But going to borrow this real quick. Hold on 1 second, guys. Okay, sorry. This guy always calls me on Facebook, and always at like the weird time. I'm like, hey, sorry, webinar, guys, can't do it. Right now where this one is, I think it probably rolls back down again. We're not at the peak. I do like that level up top. I think this was a good response off of it. It was a nice trade on Friday. Again, it's hit once, which kind of confirms that there were some sellers there. And that puts us right up around the 165.20-ish mark. I think that's a decent level. Right now, I was going to say none of the data necessarily is great for the pound. We're seeing the yen obviously move from it, so that's where the proxy is coming from. If you are short, you're probably going to have a little bit of a kind of a speed bump down here, right? Little potholes and stuff like that. There is some basing down there late last night. Again, not always the best level on Sundays. I think overall what we do is we look for this one to come down to 163.11, see what it does. It can obviously bounce off of it. Maybe if we get a base and a fail to go lower pattern, we take this one higher. It's not horrible. So, I think it rolls down. Unfortunately, it's not an area we're looking to sell. Dollar CAD. Again, 100% justified. You can see last week we talked about this. This one actually hit on Sunday. It did take a nice little bounce off of that one. We had talked about this 134.96 level. And again, you can see it just based right in there and then took off higher. It did kind of use it on the other side, but not enough that we're going to mark it off. This one, absolutely 100% justified that was pushing down. You can see this one was out at 10:30, 11. If you missed it by 12:30, you were officially out. And then again, by the end of the day, it was punching through. So we'll take that one off. We don't need that anymore. Let's drag this short term down and see if anything lines up. Um, as well. This one is absolutely justified down. Yes, weak dollar data, and then obviously crude being up over $80, almost at 81, up 6%, also bringing strength back into the market. So, complete, you know, makes complete sense why this one is down here. As far as where this one stops, right now, we know we have levels down here just a little bit lower. We're at a level right now where we did have some basing. So we're kind of we're sitting right here right now. Is it a pullback level? Sure. It pulled back. It had a one candle base and then popped off of it. Do I love it where it is? No, not really. I think it comes down and it hits this next little base around the 786, the 134. It's only about 35 pips. I actually won't be surprised if we come down and do tag the 134. That 134 number is sitting right here. Well, a little bit lower than that, but you guys get the idea. Right there. I think 134 is kind of where the target needs to be for today. Um, I do think the dollar obviously rebounds a little bit here, but for the most part, with it based in sideways, I really feel like we get a base here and then we pop back off again. Um, yeah, I think it needs to suck into the round number. This is a position today that I don't feel that for fundamental reasons. I don't necessarily have any desire to get long this position right now. And again, the reason why is pretty simple, right? Um, if you look at what the driving factors are for this one, obviously the dollar, right? We're seeing inflationary pressures dissipate. Um, Obviously the oil thing is a slap in the US face. Um, Again, that's a big fundamental reason for CAD strength. And yeah, we know that it's going to take many years to refill the strategic gold reserve. So put it this way, it is not lost. Russia is not is they're playing Biden like a fiddle. No other way to put it. Right? Let's use a whole lot of strategic oil reserve, and then we have to refill it. So what is the response back from OPEC plus? Okay, fine. We're going to cut production and drive the price higher, so you have to fill it at a higher rate, right? Again, this is yeah, eye for an eye. I mean, again, they're it's a chess game and they're winning. So yeah, no interest in going this long. I like this one short. I think 134 will tell us a whole lot as this one bases around. There may be a pullback on this one. Um, Jolts, I think, will absolutely matter because if Jolts doesn't drop below 9, I mean the forecast is 10.4. I don't. If it doesn't go below 10, I think again, I think it's also bad news because it's showing that the job market is not deteriorating. Um, so we could potentially have energy inflation again and still job pressure. It's a mix that we don't necessarily want to kind of deal with. So yeah. Dollar Swiss. All right, now dollar Swiss. Dollar Swiss did pull back down again. Now again, you can see this is a level we had it. It was out on Friday. Actually early morning. We came back down and we used that level one more time. It had punched through, so we weren't necessarily looking for anything crazy. Here's that Sunday data, and you can see it rallied up. It was Swiss weakness. What was that? It was this one right here. Just 2:30 a.m. It came in lower than expected, and that's why we saw it kind of push away from it. Makes sense. It did come back to a level of basing. Let's see. Yeah, it wasn't it. You can see the level. There's the level right there. I mean, it made sense where it did reverse, right? And again, it's that European market reversal. I mean, right at the 3 o'clock mark. So it makes sense. It wasn't a 78. It was basically this basing level right here. So, um, yeah, I mean, this one is in the right spot. Uh, do we want to long from this level? No. One, two, three, front run and a four. You can see these last two broke through this level. So it's not actually one, two, three, four broke through, five broke through. If anything, I would say that I don't like that one either. That's only 45 pips. Yeah, I mean, ugh, it's not really a racetrack in. We've pushed pretty deep there to what? 90, 95. only 11 pips. It's about 10 pips deep. Yeah, I'd like, I think this is a decent little Harry Potter trade, a trend continuation. I think it needs to come down and it needs the base in there to kind of confirm this one. Once it bases, then we adjust this Harry Potter based off of what the candle top and bottoms look like. I think is where the base forms. Um, I don't think it holds. There is some buying coming in 90, 95 right there, about 2/3 of the way through. But if we come down and base back up again, I think that trajectory continue. What is the U.S. going to do? Are they going to release more from the strategic oil reserve? No, we can't. We're already, at levels that we haven't seen in such a huge time. We're working on refilling it, right? We're not going to continue to drain it because we can't. There's not many things we can do right now to make OPEC say, "Up, just kidding," right? Um, yeah, yeah. So I don't feel that there's a lot there that's going to help strengthen the dollar. Again, seeing manufacturing down, I think that is a weak. I think that is weak for the dollar. Not that the Swiss is great, but again, I think the dollar's weakness will overtake anything. I think the U.S. weakness will overtake the Swiss weakness. Okay. So I think this one again, we look for Harry Potter. This would be a break. And again, I don't know. I'm hesitant to give this right only because I don't know where the base is. I want to see the base. I wanted to see it come down. I want to see something like this, right? I want to see a basing in here that I can draw something off of, something like this, right? I don't have it yet. I need that base, and that's where I can determine where the risk level is going to be. So I do like it short. I do think we come down and test this 90, probably 90, 80-ish range. But right now I don't have the entry. Dollar yen. There's dollar yen. There's your Sunday gap. We said if we were up here for the Sunday gap, we were going short. Well, it did go short from there and then triggered right there. And this one triggered at magically 3 o'clock in the morning. Another one of those European open trades. And there's your 1 to 3, right? Right at the gap. And we just broke through it. So, yeah, that was an 82 pip runner. What are you doing, buds? Uh-oh. What happened? Did she have a duck? There's the duck. Now we do have another Harry Potter setup on this one. I think we can throw an alert on this one, right? This is the level we talked about last week as being another short. Throw that on there. Let's add that. Let's do HP short. Confirm. I think that one's decent as well. Yeah, I think it's fine. Again, we would like to see a base come down, pull back, and then go for 131. But yeah, nice little overnight trade from that level last week. Okay. We had marked it. We were looking for a long, but we said that, hey, listen, depending on how this does with the, we drew this saying, hey, listen, this is the Sunday mark. If we're up there, short it. And it was a short actually at the open. It just wasn't as high, but we did get the high entry. Bonds are a little bit up. Let's see. All right, let's go to crude. So yeah. Obviously, we had a zone there we were looking for. We're like, yeah, once it opens, if we're in there, it's a decent short. Well, we weren't there, right? It blew completely past. It went all the way up, right? And we went up. We pulled back down again. Interestingly enough, we hit the 23. And again, oil is a very technically traded market. At 1 o'clock in the morning, 2 o'clock in the morning, we ended up hitting that 23, and then it rallied back off that. I would say I would expect this probably to tear back down a little bit now, just because profit taking, anybody that was long last week, they're absolutely, it's a $5 increase. It's a big move, right? That's outside of an ordinary move in a day. 6.29% is a lot. Not that it can't do it, because it obviously just did, but it is outside the extreme range. So, again, we talk about how to find, extreme ranges. Bollinger Bands is an easy one. You can see, look how pinched we was, and that's what the normal is, right? That's what the normal is. Look at this monstrous move back up again, and we're starting to pinch. A lot of catch up to do on this one. I think this one probably comes back down again. I do think it stays artificially high. The big question is, 80 is going to be the big linchpin on this one, right? 80 right here. Everybody's going to talk about, is it above 80 or below 80? The problem is we were at 75 closing. So right now, it's like such a big deal that we went above 80. and the talk will be that it's above 80. But as you can see, we have descending candles here. We have wicks down here. We have we've confirmed that level up top. It should roll back down a little bit. Again, we will run into kind of buyers probably around here. And I will tell you, if it does break below 79, you will start to see some selling because people use this as a pivot, right? They'll be like, oh God, if we break below, we're going to fill that gap again. That's a common gap strategy. So you'll have some artificial sellers coming in there. But that's where we're kind of pinched right now, right? If anything, what I would say is if you're looking for this one, if you're trying to play this one, this could potentially be a Harry Potter because this is considered like a, if you connected candles, right? If you connected weekend candles and some software does it for you, that is, that's what the weekend would look like, right? That's technically what the weekend looked like if you connect candles. Yes, there's a gap in there, but to make it solid to connect price, that's what it looks like. That's a racetrack. There's typically a short position here, right? And you can three, one of the three, we're not even remotely close, right? Base, confirmation. Again, could it hit and go higher? Sure. But when it eventually breaks through, I think there could be a short from 79. Okay. Natural gas. Now, natural gas did the opposite. Boing! All the way down. And we went to 201. It's like, why are you teasing me? Just touch two again. That's what we talked about, was getting back down to two. And obviously rallying back up again, and we're pushing back down. It did not fill the gap. It got pretty close on this one. But now we're starting the week off much, much lower. We're at 209. Again, this is almost one of those things that if you want to talk about where spreads are, you can go 209 to 210 right in there, something along those lines, right? There's spread trades in there, right, with options. So, yeah, I think again we've already gotten down to 201. I think again we hit two again. I think two will be a big one. But right now, obviously with the whip up and down, it's like I got OPEC. Just kidding, right? Yeah, it's fine. Gold. It's like they knew these are all moves from last week. Let's take these off. Let's take this off. Obviously the 78 got hit Sunday night. We ended up tagging this one, so I don't care about this. Right? We talked about last week. We said that 1951 was our target. There's our. I was close. There, same exact numbers. Boom. There's your target. Magically, look at that. And the reason why is because again, we use the target level there. There's your level of buying, and there's your piece. And then we look to see when this one opened. Right there. It's almost like they knew it was weak dollar, right? Although this one did give us the pullback. Look at the pullback in this one. It's not as clean there. It's better on the 30, right? 9 o'clock, 9:30 pullback, long dollar. I'm sorry, long gold. So, yeah, we're up in the area with some selling. Spacing there. Oh, this candle sucks. This is the news candle. Yeah, I won't be surprised right here if this becomes a buy. If we pull back, there's so much basing there, and being at 23.6 in this commodities market, I wouldn't be surprised if buyers step in there. It's funny, right, right on the old one. All right, so we know we have sellers here. God, I don't love any of these. None of these are like great clean levels. This is this red line. Big old 2000 mark right there. Yeah, we got to clear this one. I would say, gold obviously is A big rally since the open, straight up. Again, all dollar weakness. Like I said, it's kind of like they knew the data today. It just moved so much before the news. And you can see the pullback and the takeoff. What are you doing? Sorry, buds. You know, I'd like this to wash out. I would like us to find a top on this one. I think there's a short gold trade set up in here somewhere. I'd like to see a base. Maybe it's up here. I don't know where it's going to slow down. I think this makes a lot of sense to be able to take a short. Again, so much of a push. 0.78 is obviously well within where it can move. And it is NFP week too. Ugh. Yeah. Ugh. With this up here, I would love to find a short for this one. Love to find a short. Don't have it yet, but would love to find a short in this one. Silver. I mean, there's silver. There's your Sunday night open. Right there's your Sunday night open. You were out shortly afterwards, and then this morning, it drove up, and right before news, it hit twice. So, I mean, here's two trades. We had talked about this one being a peak, and you know, once we got this top on Friday, this is Friday at 12:30. You weren't trading it, but there's your Friday move. Right, right there. There's one. There's two. So silver has already provided two opportunities. Look at that. Came right back down and grabbed the 50. Poor people at 23.6 on that one. Oof. They got stoned right in the city square. All the way back down to 50. I think levels we mark here. Obviously, a nice little base and a takeoff there. I think that's a target for us right now. Right, there's that target. This one's been hit twice. I don't think this one holds again. 1, 2, 3. We're in a racetrack here. We are in a racetrack above this. Here and there. You shouldn't have lost audio. But sometimes, Ernest, I don't say anything when I'm thinking. Sometimes. If you lost audio, I do know that you have problems with Twitch. That Twitch really dislikes you. It's all that extra hacking that you do. Yeah. So it could be that, it could be that. Could be that. So yeah, I think if we get above 24.16, I think we have the ability to go higher. We know we're in a racetrack till about 240, 245 ish. So yeah, could be some room to run in silver. We got for Apple. Or Tesla. That's getting crunched. All right. Let's see. VIX is pulling back a little bit as it should. Yeah, we know the dollar's getting smoked. We know we're looking for a pop here. Let's see what do we got for ES. Yeah, ES had something here. The 815. Oh man, 9, 9, 15, both red, and then the green kicked in. This one left at 8. Unfortunately, this one tagged at 8 and went through. So yeah, no entry on this one, man. That sucks because look at that. That is an easy trade. There's 1 to 3. Even if you took the same level of risk, even if you ran it off of this, yeah, you would have hit. Even if you ran it there, you can see it's well past. That sucks. Yeah, there's your confirmation. I mean, I guess actually there's your confirmation. In the overnight at 4:30, this was one you could have taken at 8:15. It did pull back, but it didn't go low enough. So what may have happened on this one is you may have gotten stuck like this, where it just took off. But if you did use the smaller time frame here, or the more recent one here, you could say, well, there's your base. It did take off, but to be on the more conservative side, I hate to say it, if you're using these two confirmations as a level, you're waiting for this one to pull back. It didn't, and just took off and left without you. Ugh, that sucks. But yeah, absolutely. Again, the 9 and the 9:15 candles are both red, pulling back before the open, kind of signifying that it was going to go long. Ugh. Wah, wah, wah. We got here 8:30. Yeah, same thing. 8 trade. 9:30. Yeah, no base. Yeah, you were kind of, if anything, I would say. I mean, it was kind of more on the downside. I guess you could have said, "Hey, listen, there's a piece there. There's your 9 foot. I mean, your 9:15, you hit it, but I, this is too pinched in either way. Obviously, here's what I mean. There's a long trade, and this one doesn't look horrible, but 1 to 3 is right there. You're beyond where you have sellers confirmed, so it's not that side. Short. There's your overnight confirmation. That's typically we were kept. Stop. No, stop. You've been good the whole time. Don't be a bad boy at the end. It's only 1 to 2.5. 1 to 3 is down here. Kip. All right, you want to go in the other room? I'm gonna put you in the other room because now you got everything. Short position. He's trying to smash the mouse, but no, no, I don't. Yeah, sometimes I don't talk. Yeah. Anyway, there's your 1 to 3. It would have been too deep. So yeah, it would have been a no setup on this one either direction. The bottom one is obviously working out for a long. So again, maybe you took that for, but again, it would have been 8:30 entry. So you wouldn't have been in this one long because it didn't have the room to run either way, especially with news. So yeah, that would have been a no entry on that one. So ES definitely moved. NQ definitely not an entry. Let's see. There's your 4:30. Okay, this is a trigger. Yep. This is a There's your confirmation touch of your base in the overnight. So there's your 8 o'clock. So this one is good. And obviously this one is well past. Um, there to here. So there you go. So for 1 of 3 entry, and obviously you're well out on this one. Again, that was a nice little run. That was good. Nice little pullback confirmation in the overnight. So yeah, everything is good there. And then Russell. Did we get one in the Russell? 8. Nope. Nope. Although nice little short off the nice little gap down. That was a nice little run there. Let's see what we got here. Okay, here's your 9:30 candle. There's nothing even remotely close. So, yeah, this one was also that 8 o'clock this morning thing. We talked about this, and actually, look, it didn't even hit it. So, looks like 1 for 4 in entries. You went full profit target. It's a shame the ES didn't pull back enough because it definitely had the legs to move and go higher. So, yeah, that's unfortunate. And like I said, ES is a shame because it just didn't pull back. It pulled back like it did. It just didn't tag the zone where the confirmations. It was too early of a trade. NQ didn't get back deep enough. YM absolutely with the doubt came back, touched it, and it just blew it out of the water. YM was the big winner today, and then Russell, it didn't pull back. It came down at 7:45 ish, never pulled back, never hit anything, so it just doesn't work. So is what it is. All right, let's go ahead and do our giveaway to start the week off. I don't remember who won last week. I can check it afterwards. I don't know who won on Friday. I am not sure, but I know it was only. I think we were light going in that weekend. Anyway, let's see. We got everybody in today. Let's go and let's see how we start off this non-farm payroll week into a new quarter, April 3rd. All right, Debbie won. All right, there we go. Debbie won. Oh crap. See it, Neuro. You screwed me up on that one. See, Debbie answered. All right, winner of today's drawing is. Damn, Debbie's just killing it, right? I'm telling you, Debbie's like in the last week and a half. I feel like this is like Debbie's like 4th win or maybe 5th win in the last 2 weeks. I feel like Debbie's killing it, right? I don't know what she's doing. And again, there was the one day that Debbie didn't show up and she didn't win that day and stopped her streak. I'm just saying. Then she comes back and she wins again. So yeah. Yeah, it was Debbie. Wow, so Debbie gets her 100. Jeez. Where is Debbie? Man, Debbie gets her 100. Whoops, not 1,000. Oh, can you imagine? 1,000, she jumps up. Woo. God, guys, can you imagine? Ernest would rage. He would, oh, man, that would be insane. Woo! Spending inch down. This is kind of funny. If we slow to 50 basis points, it's hard to go back. Yeah, Holtzman is the Bullard over there. OPEC plus decision will add to inflation on the margin. Holtzman, if we slow down. He's not wrong. It will obviously add to inflation because energy inflation was way down. But can the euro stomach? Can the euro stomach that additional? Yeah, look at it pulling away. Can it stomach that? I don't know. I think that's extremely dangerous. I think they have to go to 0.25. I think they have to. So anyway. All right, well, that's it for today. It looks like we're going to have a fun-filled week. And again, looking at what we have, tomorrow morning, we have super, super early in the morning, Aussie cash rate expected not to change, right? Going flat, right? Jolts tomorrow morning early, followed by New Zealand tomorrow night. Also, well, actually, this one is continuing to rise up to 5. New Zealand's going, Aussie is not. So that makes it very, very interesting to see in that European or that Pan-Asian or Pacific, whatever you want to call it, the Pacific theater. Yeah, that Aussie is officially pausing. So, remember we talked about all that weakness? There's that weakness coming back in again in that Aussie dollar, right? This one right here. If they're paused and the dollar's going to rise, every reason why this continues to drop. So, yeah, fun. Followed by non-farm change ISM. Again, does this services figure go down? And then Thursday, unemployment. Again, not a big deal, right? Taking down. And then bam, non-farm payroll and the unemployment rate. So again, this is quite a big week with cash raises and everything else. So yeah. I can tell you why, Ernest. So I think Will's had 46 months of like his subscription. So like sometimes when people like remember, as a subscriber, you get twice as many chips, right? You get 2 chips versus 1, right? Right. Subscribers get 2 for every 10 minutes or whatever it is, right? And when you subscribe to the channel, you get 20 bonus points. So if you don't subscribe back, you don't get it, right? Maybe he cheers too. I don't know. Maybe if he cheers, I'm not sure how that works. But here it is right here. Regular viewers get 1 pip chip every 10 minutes. Subscribers get 2 pip chips every 10 minutes. So that's how he's been able to do it. And then subscribing gets it to you. Following, right? Tipping gets you some stuff too. So there are different things in here for they call them loyalty settings, but that's all it is. Basically, if you're a subscriber, you get 2 chips versus 1 chip. But remember, Will never does more than 1. It's very rare if Will ever does 1. So if you think about it, it's not, he does his 1 free because remember, every drawing you get your first ticket for free, right? Giveaway settings, right? It's 10 pip chip a ticket, but look, give everyone their first ticket for free. It's not subscribers only. Subscribers get no extra benefits, but everybody gets that first one free. He only does the free one, so he goes up every time. So he is like the train that could, the slow and steady every time. He's cheating somehow. I know Ernest is like, if I'm not winning, he's cheating. So yeah. Will manages it. Will's got that down. He's got an ebook on how to do that one. Slow and steady wins the race. That's what Will believes. So all right, with that, I'm out of here. I will catch you guys tomorrow morning, 9:30 Eastern Standard Time. Wish me luck. Hopefully Jin will not be the exorcist and keep vomiting today. But again, I will see you guys tomorrow morning. Thanks for joining me, and I'll see you bright and early AM with some hot coffee. Take care.